Welcome, it's your friendly neighbourhood badger here, and I am back for a build guide for my Herald of Purity Necromancer. This build has absolutely insane damage and insane survivability, although if you're like me, you'll probably find yourself dying still quite a bit because you don't pay attention to mechanics. This build is so strong that it can tank a Shaper Slam.
Yep.
It can demolish Uber Elder.
Yeah, one sec. Still. Yay, I got a jewel! And I got the quiver as well! I got a jewel in the quiver!
And it can also kill Cirrus, the new endgame boss, Deathless at Awakening level 8, quite easily.
Yes! Deathless! Oh.
My gem setup for this build is quite refined, although you can feel free to play around with whatever you would like to. I'm just going to go through each of the abilities set up and just give you the links for each of them. First up, we have the main skill, Herald of Purity, in your 6 link, or 5 link if you can afford only that. The first link, obviously, is your Herald of Purity. Then we have Deathmark, Feeding Frenzy, Minion Damage, Melee Physical Damage, and then to finish it off, we have Ruthless. If you would like to switch Ruthless for Multi-Strike, you can feel free to do so, or if you have the 5 link, you can just get rid of that Ruthless altogether. Next, your clear ability, which we are actually using Summon Holy Relic. With Summon Holy Relic, the gem setup is as follows. Summon Holy Relic is linked with Minion Damage, Controlled Destruction, and lastly, Increased Area of Effect. Your weapons will be holding 2-3 links. The first 3 link is your movement skill, so you'll be putting Whirling Blades in with Fortify, and in the third slot you will just be putting Pride. The other weapon will be holding your Spectre and Carrion Golem setup, so you will just be linking Summon Spectre and Carrion Golem with Blood Magic. I will explain that later. The last 2 setups we have are our 2 4-links in our gloves and boots. The first 4-link is going to be our Cyclone setup. So we have Cyclone, linked with Cast While Channeling, Desecrate, and Spirit Offering. This is for massive defenses. And lastly, we have the boots. Now in these boots, we don't actually have a full 4-link, we have 2 2-links. The first 2-link, we will have Blasphemy and Vulnerability. In the second 2-link, we have Flesh and Stone, then linked with Maim. Usually in most builds you have to focus on one aspect, whether that be damage or defenses. Fortunately for us, in this build we have the luxury of obtaining both. For defenses, we have an extreme defense in our Cast While Channeling setup with Spirit Offering, allowing us to get 15% of our health every 0.7 seconds as energy shield. For damage, our Herald of Purity can be ramped up to the absolute maximum. Right now, my Herald of Purities are doing about 1.6 million DPS each, so you can times that by 5 and you can kind of understand the kind of Shaper DPS we are looking at. This build is also great in the Metamorph League because it can both kill the Metamorphs very quickly and it can tank most of what they throw at you, as you are viewing right here on your screen. I'm very happy with this build, but I think we're just going to jump into the gear choices that I've made, and then after that I'll talk a little bit on how you could level this build. The gear on this build has been carefully optimized, but there's still lots of room for improvement. The helmet, we have a +1 maximum number of Sentinels of Purity enchant, and then we're just looking for as much life as we can, as well as level of socketed minions for our Summon Holy Relic damage. We then move to our weapons, which are 2 Cold Iron Point daggers that give +3 to level of all physical spell skill gems. This is for our Herald of Purity. Our amulet is an Impresence amulet with the vulnerability has 100% reduced mana reservation effect on it. The Blight oils that we've used allocate Ravenous Horde. This amulet also gives a little bit of life to our build, which is always nice. The 2 rings we are using are Circle of Guilt synthesized iron rings that have the Herald of Purity has reduced mana reservation. We're looking for around 77% or more, as well as the increased fizz damage for the Purity Sentinels. Our chest piece is stacking as much life as we possibly can. As you see, I've got quite a bit on this one here. For the belt, we are looking for life and res. Gloves, same deal, life and res. And for the boots, again, same deal, life and res. If you can fit strength in there, that is always a good thing. You can then just have a little look through all the flasks I'm using. Most of them are utility, but the Blood of the Karui Life Flask is really nice for that quick regeneration with the instant recovery to full health at the end. And then we finish off with a nice Rumi's Concoction for blocking attack and spell damage. There are a few leveling items below that I like to use, but I'll talk about them later. This build is actually quite a joy to level. Here I've actually just brought up the passive skill tree so you can kind of see where I'm going, and I will also include a path of building paste bin in the description with levels 20, 40, 60, 80, and then the end game all put in there, and you can see all my gear there as well. First of all, up until level 16, you just want to level quite generically, and you can do that with something like a Freezing Pulse or a Fire Trap quite easily. But as soon as you get Herald of Purity, you can then start using it, and also having a Cyclone with your Summon Holy Relic. Now, you may need to have another character to either mule some gems over with, or have some other gems, have like Cyclone and something like that already there for you. We basically, first of all, just come up here, get a little bit of life, and then we just want to, as quick as possible, come all the way down through here, all the way down, and reach Resolute Technique. The reason we want to reach Resolute Technique is because we want to be hitting as much as we can, so our Summon Holy Relic is proccing as much as it can, as well as us being able to spawn our Sentinels of Purity as best as we possibly can. We can then go back and start filling out life and minion nodes. So we come up here, grab some life, great minion nodes here, up here into these minion nodes and these ones, come around, get some more life and minion nodes, more life down here, and then we can fill out the rest of life everywhere else, which there is a lot of it. 232% increased max life on the tree. So that's pretty much how we go through all of that. There are a couple of leveling items that we can use that are very, very helpful. The first one being, obviously, a Tabula. That's going to help us put our Cyclone cast while channeling setup in. We can link that with Fortify while leveling, and that will be quite nice. Also, instead of using Spirit Offering, we can use Flesh Offering to level with, because that will just make us go a lot faster. Then the other items that we can use is Mature Tapuna, the shield, which you can put your Summon Holy Relic in just for a little bit to just give it great level bonuses. And then once we hit around level 50, we can use the Joffrey's Legacy Helmet, which buffs our Summon Purity, our Summon Holy Relic, great damage bonus in that helmet. That's pretty much it for the leveling. I did go over that quite quickly, but as I said, check the Path of Building link if you do need more information for that. Well, that's about it everyone, so thank you very much for tuning in to this little build guide. If you have any more questions, you can feel free to jump over to my Twitch at ThisIsBadgerGaming. Hopefully you can catch me streaming, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions on stream. In fact, I really love it when people ask questions. I love being able to help. Thank you very much. I hope you all have a lovely new year into 2020, this new decade. Hopefully you get some insanely good drops and level your characters all the way through to end game. Until next time, Badger out.